Good morning, good morning, good morning, mathematicians. It is Mrs. Capizzi, and today is Wednesday, April 1st, and we are in day 13 of our remote learning. So it's a beautiful, sunshiny day out, so hopefully you can get outside and get some fresh air and some vitamin D to help perk up your spirits. I know that I am going to be going out later today to get some fresh air. So let's go ahead and get started with today. So for your warm-up, you're going to pick one of the problems from the week 3 warm-up sheet. And then we are still continuing with 10-1, so hopefully it'll be easy peasy because we've been doing it for a couple days. And you're going to complete numbers 1 through 21 on page 547. So remember, when you are splitting up the fraction that they give you and making a multiplication problem from it, this number here will be your big number. That's going to be the whole number, so that will be your numerator. And then this will be the unit fraction. So remember, the numerator has to be 1, and then the denominator will stay the same. So this will be your denominator. And remember, denominator, the D is down, numerator N is north. So let's say I have the fraction of 2/3. If I want to make that into a multiplication sentence, I'll take the numerator, and that will be my whole number. And then the unit fraction, make sure 1 is your numerator, and then your denominator will stay the same. So my denominator was 3, so my denominator will still remain 3. So 2/3 can also be written as 2 times 1/3, or 2 copies of 1/3. And if I was going to show that with my fraction strips, I've got 1/3 there, and another 1/3. So I have 2 copies, 1, 2 of 1/3. So 2 times 1/3 is 2/3. And you could also think of that as 1/3 plus 1/3, which would also be 2/3. So let's take a look at our math warm-up. And like I mentioned yesterday, these are all pretty quick questions, so if you get a chance, I know you need to finish one each day, so that would leave one extra, but if you want some extra credit, go ahead and finish that 6th problem. So let me take a look at what you're doing today. So for day 13, again, you're going to do your warm-up, one problem, and then we're going to be on page 547, numbers 1 through 21. So let's take a look at the another look example, and I will zoom in on that for you guys. Okay. So it says use fraction strips to show 5/8 as a multiple of a unit fraction. So here they actually drew out the fraction strips for us. Let me just go ahead and focus this so it comes in clearer. That's better. So here you can see the red fraction strip represents 1 whole. And then here I've got 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, and 1/8. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1/8 pieces. So here they're representing that on the number line. So just like a number line with whole numbers, you can make a number line with fractions. So if I was counting by eighths, it would be 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, and that's where my fraction strips stop. And they went all the way to 1 whole. 6/8, 7/8, 1 whole, and that 1 whole could also have been written as 8/8. So here here's the addition number sentence and here's the multiplication number sentence, and they both represent 5/8. So here they wrote it as addition, or 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8. And we know when the same number is being added repeatedly or over and over again, repeated addition is also known as multiplication. So any repeated addition problem can also be written as multiplication. So there were 5 copies of 1/8, so I can write that as 5 times 1/8 or 5/8. So for your independent practice today, you'll be completing numbers 1 through 21. So I'm going to use the communicator board to make it a little bit larger for you. So for number 1, we have 2/4. Okay. So here, in this first box, you're going to write the whole number, how many copies of that unit fraction you have. And that is also the numerator. Okay, so let me lift this up a little bit so you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. Okay, so that whole number here, that will be your numerator. So my numerator is 2, so I'm going to make my 2 nice and big. And then this here will be your unit fraction. That's kind of hard to see, so let me rewrite that for you. Unit fraction. So remember, with any unit fraction, your numerator has to be 1, and you're going to look at what the denominator was, 4, and it's going to remain 4. So this means I have 2 copies times 1/4. So 2 copies of 1/4 or 2/4. So when you are completing your independent practice today, you see here they took the numerator of 2 and then times 1/4. So for numbers 1 through 6, they give you the boxes. So let's do a couple that don't have the boxes. So let's take a look at number 8. So 9 is my numerator, so I'm going to write that nice and big because that's how many copies of the unit fraction I have. And my unit fraction will have 1 as a numerator and my denominator is 5. So it's going to stay 5. So 9/5 can be written as 9 times 1/5 or 9 copies of 1/5. And let's go ahead and I'll pick one more from down here. Let's look at number 20. So my first number, I'm going to look at my numerator and write that nice and big. So I have 35 times my unit fraction of 1, and my denominator is 100 because that's what my denominator was here. So this means I would have 35 copies of 1/100th. So just go ahead and follow the same pattern to complete numbers 1 through 21. And we are here for you if you need help with any of your assignments. Just reach out via Dojo or email. And we miss you so much and hope that you guys are doing well. Let's see if I can shift this. I worked out this morning, so I'm not looking too pretty, but I do want to say hi. Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Capizzi, and I miss you guys so much and hope that you're doing well. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.